Robert Rivas Radio, Tejano, and much more.
Robert Rivas Radio, Tejano, and much more. And at this time, excitement is in the air. Why? Because Grammy Award-winning Jesse Turner is joining me for my morning show. Good morning, Jesse.
Good morning, brother. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo amaneciste?
Aquí nomás, amigo. How about yourself?
I was thinking about barbacoa, tacos, and menudo, but then I said, nah, man, I gotta stay in shape. So, egg whites and fruit. So that's
there we go.
Now.
Wait, Jesse, before we get started with this interview, man, I got to bring this out to you. Last year, I'm a Spurs season ticket holder, and last year, there was a Jesse Turner sighting at the Spurs game. You were at the game last year, ¿verdad, camarada?
I went a couple of times. I'm a big Texas fan, bro. I support every team in Texas. You're talking about from Texans to, well, a little bit of the Cowboys. But, Rockets, Spurs, I mean, you name it, but I try to just, I'm always happy when something comes out of Texas, and when something comes out of the Rio Grande Valley, pues es orgullo para mí, because that's where I'm from. I'm from a little city called Santa Rosa, Texas. But yeah, man, I was there, and it was awesome. I think it was one of the last times I got to see Tim Duncan play.
You know, Jesse, I was talking to you earlier about this. I used to work for EMI Latin, and when I first went on the road, I was in the Valley. I never realized how many Spurs fans there are in the Valley.
Man, there's Spurs fans everywhere, bro. No matter where you go. I'm talking about, there's been occasions where we play in Florida, and there's a lot of people that are from Texas, and they wear their Spurs jerseys to the show. I mean, you name it, they're there. They're everywhere, bro.
I was blown away, man. Really, but it was more so because I was there at Brownsville, actually, McAllen, and I told the guys at our hotel at the La Quinta, I said, there's a sports bar around here, man. The Spurs are playing at 7:30. Somewhere I can go. He goes, yeah, right up the street, man, Buffalo Wild Wings. Y entré, and I felt like I was in San Antonio. Everybody was wearing Spurs jerseys and everything. I said, man, this is awesome.
You could pretty much go anywhere in the Valley, and they have it pretty much everywhere, man. Spurs are very important down there in the Valley.
Big time. Jesse, before anything else, I need to ask you, how is your son doing?
He's okay, bro. He's in a very long battle, and we just have to take it day by day and pray for the best. Continue to pray for him, that God continue to give him strength.
So, of course, it's very unfortunate.
So very gracias a todos los que oran por mi hijo, and just a reminder, keep him in your prayers. Like I said, it's a very long road, a very long journey, and the key to all this is having patience.
Jesse, let me ask you this. I mean, how difficult, I can only imagine, but, you going through it, still going through it, how difficult was it for you to be out there performing knowing that your son was in the condition he was in?
Well, I don't think we're left with very many options. I mean, it was either I really didn't want to perform, and if I completely stopped, I mean, it wasn't going to stop the bills from coming. Every week there's some new bill in my mailbox. So sometimes we don't have an option but to get up and fight, and the longer we wait, well, the more damage that you create. And even though, I have a very easy job, it's difficult, but it's easy. It's difficult because you always have to have a smile on your face. I always try to be as real as I can be. I mean, sometimes I really forget who I am, because I don't know, man. I've been doing this since I was 15 years old, and I started when I was 3, but professionally I started when I was 15, so I really don't. I don't know. I try not to pay too much attention to it, and even though I'm a public figure, I try not to think about it, because I don't ever want to get lost. I always want to stay everybody's friend. I always want to be able to able to get in my car and go to H-E-B like I did yesterday. I want to be able to go out and just go dressed however and not be judged, because I've always said the people that are listening, they're not my fans. They're my friends. So I'm hoping that they always understand me. And as much as people always try to make me seem like a superstar, I'm really not. I'm really just your friend that happens to be lucky and create music and have these great opportunities and take advantage of them. So it was really hard, man. It was hard, but like I said, the only option that's left in life is to stay strong.
That is the most unfortunate thing. That of course what you're saying is true. I mean, you know you've got everything, with your son going on, but yet you got to see the other side to where not only what's going on with your bills, but your band members and just stuff like that. I mean, in a sense, you've got to move forward, ¿verdad?
That's correct. That's the only option that we have. And in life, that's the only thing we can do, man, is you can stay at the very bottom as long as you want to, but eventually you're going to get back up. Eventually you're going to get tired of being at the very bottom of the barrel as far as in feelings. Even it's like going through a breakup. When you go through that first breakup, you're at the very bottom of the barrel, and you think that this is it, this is the end of the world. It's not, And as difficult, I can't. There's no words to describe how I feel. I can only tell you it's very complicated. It's very hard. But all I could do is put my faith in God and let Him do what He does. Toda la voluntad de Dios, como dicen.
Jesse, is there a time frame, any kind of time frame whatsoever, on the rehab of your son, on him getting better? Is there any time frame whatsoever?
No, there isn't.
Okay.
No.
Okay. I tell you what, let's move forward here, Jesse. Let's talk a little bit. Now, you were first signed with Crown Records, ¿verdad?
Yeah, back in the year 2000.
Crown Records?
Yeah, I used to play with Don Chico, and every once in a while when he would get tired, or I don't know, I think he just really liked to see me play. And he would let me play and sing 2 songs. And when I would do that, he would create opportunities for me. And when he got signed to Crown Records, I remember one time they had a party for him, and I ended up playing the accordion. He says, "Here, you played 2 songs," and I played them, and the record label was there, and they said, "You know what? We want to sign you." They asked me if I had a band. I said, "No, I have a group of friends," and we created Siggno, and there begins our musical journey in the year 2000.
Isn't that something? Man? The way you got started, that is something. So after Crown, you moved on with Cerca, ¿verdad? Cerca Music?
Correct. We went with Cerca Music, and really we were trying to create the same brand in Mexico, but we lost a little bit of the fire that we had here in the U.S. So we went on to sign to Freddie Records in the year 2004, when I thought it was going to be completely over. And another opportunity presented itself, and it was with Freddie Records, and what an amazing journey that was, man. It was, everything happens by opportunity, everything happens by being honest, by being sincere, and by, when something great happening, taking advantage of it. So we had a very long history together, and here we recently signed to Remix, which is in all of Mexico now, and in the United States. This is the first time that we're number 7 in all of Mexico, nationally. I don't think we've ever even, well, I'm lying. We hit the top 20, but it was still with one of the songs that just came out, which was El Perdón. We went all the way to number 20 nationally, and then right now we're currently number 7 all over Mexico.
Now, do you think that Freddie Records took you as far as they could? Is that why you made the change to your new record label?
I gave them, let me see, I was with them in 2004. I gave them about 12 years of my life, and they were amazing and they were great. But I just felt that we just needed to try something different, because I know that I'm always going to have that door open with them. If things here in the future don't work out or whatever, I know that they'll always have that door open for me. But it's good to. It's almost like cutting your hair. Your hair. Sometimes you don't want to cut it, and sometimes you don't want to look different. You don't want anything to change. But it's not a bad thing to change. Change is good. Change is good for your house. Change is good for your look. Change is good for everything. We always need change, and if you don't progress, then you go back to what you were working with. And hopefully si se presenta la oportunidad, pues algún día si se presenta esa oportunidad, pues pueda trabajar con ellos de nuevo. Pero right now, in this time of age, I just felt that we needed to change. We needed to try something different.
I've always said, it's never good to burn a bridge, but you never know when you're going to cross that bridge again, ¿verdad?
Exactly. They're all very good, man. They're good people. They're good. They're personally good friends of mine. I can't even call them friends because they're more of like my family. All of them. From Freddie Jr. to Freddie Sr. I mean, that's who I really built my relationship with, is with them too. They're just really good people, man. They're good-hearted people, and especially Freddie Sr. Now, I know why he had so much success, and it's just because he's a very genuine person.
By you going to a new record label, Jesse, will this affect your touring with Elida?
No, we just did a whole tour, and we've been signed to Remix since a while back. I mean, we're ending our tour. That's the thing, is that we offered people something different that will never be done again. I don't know, man. We just really wanted people to come out. That we won't do this tour again. We won't. There's probably like 3 dates left in it, and I know the ending of our tour dates with Elida will end in October. That doesn't mean we won't tour again. The problem is that you're not going to see the same show. The interaction that me and Elida had was completely different from anything anybody has ever seen. We literally got on stage together on the first song, and after 30 minutes, we changed while there was no break, no intermission. And then Siggno got on after 30 minutes, nonstop. And then Elida got up on stage and sang a song with us. And then her band appeared on stage, and we got off, and she played for another 45 minutes. And then we played for a full hour after that, and she came back on stage again like 2 more times. So we shared the stage in a way that nobody has done it before. Probably the only ones that I could really say have done it are people like Jay-Z, Kanye West, Justin Timberlake with Jay-Z. Just a lot of these mainstream artists have been doing it, and I've always said, well, why can't we do it? The thing is that we don't ever want to repeat itself to offer it as something special. Like, you don't want to miss out on this. And if it doesn't mean that us and Elida will ever not perform again. The thing is that you're not going to see that show. It's going to completely change. We might do something completely different in the future. And I know that the opportunity will present itself here in the future.
What was the feeling like to win a Grammy?
I really don't remember it.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I hope you don't take that in a negative or wrong way.
Not at all.
I think I was in such a stage of shock that I couldn't enjoy it. Does that make any sense? Like, when it happened, I froze up, and I went into like a cloud. I went into a white cloud of, I forgot everything that I just said, and it happened so fast that I didn't really get to, what's the word? I really didn't get to enjoy it when it happened, because we were in such shock that we had won. We really, really didn't know. It was an amazing experience. I remember that it was an amazing experience, but I kind of don't remember it because it happened so fast.
Would it be like saying, man, you're trying to get to the mountaintop, and then when you finally get there, you're like, I can't believe we got here. How did we get here? You're kind of like, maybe like...
No, I'm gonna give you a better one. It's like having to climb up a mountain, and it's so cold up there, you didn't come prepared, and when you finally get up there, you said, all right, let's leave. And it's like it happened so quick. You were up there like for a minute. Okay, we reached the top, we're coming back to the bottom. It happened so quick, man. It's like sometimes you get so filled with emotion that you're so overwhelmed with shockness that you don't realize what just happened. For example, like when you're in it, like if you've ever been in an accident, I was just recently in one. Somebody hit me on the side of my car, and it happened so quick that it shocked the life out of me, that I really didn't know what had happened. It was the cop said, what happened? I said, I have no idea. I was like in a stage of shock. That's what I mean.
Was it the other person's fault?
Yeah, it was the other person's fault. I think it was texting and driving.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Nowadays, I'm driving down the road. I'm sure you see it too, and you glance and you see somebody messing with their phone while they're driving, man. They're out there doing it.
Yeah, no, we got to be more safe, and we got to be more careful. We got to be very careful. I mean, ever since the cell phone was invented, so much has changed.
Amigo, you've got a song. You've got many songs, but this song, Mama. Amigo, what a song. What a song. Talk to me about the song.
Well, it's just a song that I wrote to my mother. to give her tribute to all the love she's ever given me. And even though I say goodbye to her on the song, I think it's just more, I explained to her that it's more something that I'm so scared of, and that I've always told her I don't ever want to lose you, and that's my biggest fear. So I write about things that I fear. I write about things that I want. I write about people that hurt me, or the struggles I had in life, or I write about life in general. And that just happens to be an amazing song for me. I would never imagine that so much time later that it would become an anthem for so many kids, or it would be a feeling, a mutual feeling that we all share, which is one day having to say goodbye to our mothers.
I think a lot of people can relate to the words in that song, Jesse. It is just a song that so many people have embraced. You know, it's a beautiful song. I mean, I congratulate you on that song. It is just simply a beautiful song. Okay, now, Jesse, let's go the other direction. You go from a simply awesome song for your mother, a tribute to your mom, then you go with a song called Estúpida, which I simply love. I sing along to this song, man. I'm with you, man. I'm on board with you, man. Talk to me about the song Estúpida.
Estúpida was back in the year 2000 and I want to say the year 2005 or 6. So that's been a while. I think it's something that we all go through. It's an emotion of when they leave you and you've done nothing but good things in a relationship, and when you've been a better person, you just, in English it sounds a little bit different. You say, man, how can she be so stupid to leave me? How can she be so stupid to cheat on me when I was nothing but good to her? When I gave her my heart, when I gave her everything. So that's basically the idea behind that song. And again, I mean, it's incredible, man. I've written over 100 songs, and each one of them is very meaningful to me, and each one has a special meaning.
Sure. Now, but this song is Estúpida. When writing it, was it a special moment, a special time, just something where you just sat down, or maybe you were drinking a beer, you're just feeling it? How did you come across it to say, you know what, I need to write this song, and then to name it Estúpida,
Well, back in the days, because it's a little bit different now, but back in those early days, I really didn't. I'm going to be as honest as I can be. I wouldn't sit down and because I wouldn't drink, but I would sit down, and sometimes all the lyrics were just there. They were just there for me to grab and put, and the music, I just heard it in my head. It's very hard for me to explain, but it's something that is just a talent that God has given me. Maybe not to write something like that, but when you think about it, those are lessons in life. Because if you listen to the song and if you pay very close attention, not only did I call her stupid, but I called myself stupid. I said, estúpido. I said, you're just as dumb. I was calling myself dumb for believing every single word she said, for not recognizing who she really was. And that's the way I write. Like I said, that's how I used to write all my songs. But recently, I haven't written anything in about 2 or 3 years, and it's not so much that I don't want to. It's just that I don't like to write. I don't like to make up stories. I like to write whatever my heart wants to write, and I'm not going to be writing songs just for trying to create some type of income or anything like that. If I'm going to write, I'm going to write so I can record it. If I'm going to write, I'm going to write because I feel it. If I'm going to sing something, I'm going to sing it because I feel it from my heart. And I think that's what makes our show so intimate, is that I'm able to explain to you at any given moment how I feel about this song, or why I wrote it, or the meaning behind it. But even though I wrote each one of those songs in about 15 minutes, I literally wrote those songs in 15 minutes because it was what I used to do is I used to walk around with music in my head, and I wouldn't write anything. until the words started coming out. But it was like a puzzle that was in my head. And I just started memorizing what I wanted to say, and I never really wrote anything. So when it was time to actually write it, I would sit down, and in 15 minutes, it was there. It was there. It was actually there like in 7 minutes or 8 minutes. But it was there in 15 minutes to like go back and correct something, correct this, this sounds better. And that's how I was able to write my first songs.
Jesse, do you have your own publishing company?
No. I don't.
Okay, that's very surprising. Very surprising you don't have your own publishing company, because usually songwriters have their own publishing company as well.
You know what, bro? At the end of the day, everything is just, nothing is ever ours. Not even our house. Our house will always be paid by taxes. And what God gave me, I won't own it when I'm gone. So it doesn't really matter. You know, what's important is that what you leave behind, which is the memories, which is the feeling, which is the lyrics. That although, I don't know, one of my sons or one of my family members might own the rights to or record, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, everybody knows who wrote that song. And they'll be able to go back and find sources and references like this interview, or like videos on YouTube of plenty of interviews that I've done. And I've explained and I've given my reasons to why I wrote them. Once I'm gone, that doesn't matter. What's important is the feeling and the memory that I created at the moment.
You know, Jesse, you're so right in what you're saying. I can't tell you how many interviews I've done. In the 3 years I've been up and running on the Internet, I've done many, many interviews, and people have told me, Robert, you're doing interviews that we're finding out about artists that we never realized before, and you're making them available, you know, for us to listen to. And I'm talking Jimmy Gonzalez, I'm talking Abraham Quintanilla, I can go Sonny Ozuna, Elida, Flaco Jimenez, and like I'm saying, I was very excited to do this interview as well. But even more so, a songwriter once told me, Jesse, that every song that he wrote was like a child of his. Mm-hmm. Do you see it that way as well?
Yeah, but I mean that song is a child that you can't see, and it's a child that you cannot touch. For that child, it is an example of a song that exists in my heart. So it doesn't matter, you know. I'll take it with me forever. What God put in my heart was feelings that mutual feelings that we all share. What God gave me is for me to give to you, because it's a form of expression. It's a way to hear what I have to say as far as through music, how I musically express myself, and it'll be here forever. It's a child, and although you know, these children will keep, imagine them, they will keep living forever, and I will take them with me the day that the day that God takes me.
Jesse, who was your inspiration in your music?
God.
Who inspired you? Who would you say inspired you? God?
God, yeah. God is an amazing person, because God creates problems for you to solve. God does so many things for us. He's someone that we're not going to know who he is until the day that we leave Earth and the day that we find him. And I always tell people, look, we don't need to die to go to heaven. I find heaven every day. I find heaven in people. I find heaven in children. I find heaven in elderly people, or people that are genuine and sincere. You know, he's been my inspiration every day, because every day I woke up and I had an opportunity to live and to learn. And everything all of a sudden became a lesson. And those lessons became songs. So that you can know that I lived that. Whatever you're going through, I've gone through it. And I've gone through very tough and difficult situations, and I've managed. So God, there's nobody greater that can inspire you other than God. I can't tell you, when I was 3 years old, who was inspiring me then. It must have been God, because I wanted to make music because it was in my heart. So I started there. And then I started in the church. And I played to church all the way up until I was 13 and 14. But God gives you a talent so you can make a life out of your talent. Maybe you're able to counsel young people. Maybe you're able to be a teacher. Maybe you have the gift of being on radio or being a DJ. Maybe you have the gift of just making people laugh. But we all have it. But it all comes from one person, and not so much a person, from a force that we don't know, and that's God.
You know, what better way can be said than the way you're putting it, Jesse? And even more so, you're very blessed to be able to express your feelings, your thoughts, in the forms of music as well.
Yeah, we got to make the best of of the time that we have left. I'm not going to give you my age, but I just think, man, I don't know how much time I have left, but I love my life, regardless of my struggles, regardless of the things that I'm going with my son. I mean, there's nothing I can change. All I can do is try to make the best out of every single day. That's what I try to do. I wrote one time on my Facebook, every night when I go to sleep, my heart breaks. It breaks because it shatters over the fact of what my son's going through. But for some reason, when I get up in the morning, it's restored. And it's enough for me to get up every day and fight. And life is a journey. Life is a mystery. So we must live it to the best of our ability.
Jesse, you got me going here, man. You got me thinking. I mean, you're saying some stuff that's really, really, really true, straight to the heart. And I wish nothing but the best for you, your family, your son, and everything that you're doing, in your life. Porque the way you express your thoughts, your feelings through your music, and not only through your music, but the way you're talking to me now, I mean, this just goes to show why fans have embraced you the way they have.
Well, I've always said I belong to every single individual out there. I'm a part of you, and you're a part of me. And like I said in the very beginning of this interview, that's why I try to be as real as I can be. Yeah, I like to laugh, I like to make jokes, and I like to go out with my friends, and I like to be crazy sometimes, but at the end of the day, I love to live. I love to embrace every moment of my life, and I like to smile as much as I can, even though sometimes I feel like a weight on my mouth, and it's bringing that smile down. I mean, I try for the life in me to smile, because there's nothing greater you can give the world than a smile. Not so much because you owe it to them, because in a smile, you'll find exactly what I told you a few minutes ago, which was heaven. And that's right. Whenever you walk into a room and somebody smiles at you, it's only peaceful and it's only normal to smile back.
That's right.
I always say, yeah, it's a God-given feeling. And I'm hoping that every time I see you, and for anybody that's listening, I'm going to tell you something. I always like to do something different. I'm going to share something with you that I haven't shared with anybody.
Okay.
You ready?
Sure.
Okay. It's very hard for me when people ask me, how's your son doing? I can't tell you how much that breaks me. Now imagine going through a day of hearing that. So next time you see me, it's when you see me, don't ask me, just give me a hug. That's all I ask for my friends. I know people mean well. I know people want to know and are curious. But I'm just, at the end of the day, I'm still human. And it hurts me. It hurts me because every day, not that I don't want to forget about it, but every day I'm fighting. So when they ask, it hurts my feeling to say, he's okay. So next time you see me, I want you to just give me a hug. No matter who's listening. When you see me, just come up to me and give me a hug. I'll always be available as long as time allows it. As long as time presents itself. And this doesn't mean at the shows, because that's one thing, is whenever we go to shows, it's hard to attend to everybody. But when you see me on the streets, when you see me at your H-E-B, Walmart, or La Pulga, whatever it is, when you see me there,
La Pulga.
whenever you see me wherever, I nomás les encargo un abrazo. And in a hug, you'll have all the answers to every single question and to everything you wanted to say. You'll find it there.
And I tell you what, Jesse, when I see you, a hug you will get. Okay, amigo?
There you go. Entonces Friday it is, man. And inviting everybody out this coming Friday to the city of San Antonio today.
Well, actually tonight. Tonight.
I'm sorry, I thought it was Thursday. I thought it was Thursday morning. Ahí les encargo, a todos los muchachos les encargo que oren por ellos, to pray for us. And pray for him to give us strength. And we have about 27 days that we're going to be out. That's including today. We're performing every single day and doing something every single day from here for about 27 days. We play today, tomorrow, Sunday we'll be traveling, getting our permits and traveling to Monterrey. Monday we have interviews, and then Tuesday we'll be in Monterrey, Nuevo León at Arena Monterrey. Wednesday we'll be in San Luis Potosí. Friday we will be in, I want to say Acuña, Coahuila. And then that Saturday we're going to Kyle, Texas, and so forth and so forth and so forth. It's like, and we're going to be gone for 2 weeks in the city of Mexico, traveling to Veracruz, traveling to Puebla, traveling to different cities to do the promotion for our new album that already came out in all of Mexico. So, amigo, muchas gracias por esta oportunidad. Thank you for this opportunity. God bless you, man. You know what? You have a way of interviewing people, and you have a way of taking things out of people. And this goes back to exactly to what I said in the beginning. You have a God-given talent.
Let me say this, Jesse. Let me say this. You know, like even before we started the interview, I told you, you know, I've never met you. I've never had a conversation with you. And I've been very blessed to where I've had the same situation with other artists. And before you know it, we're having a conversation, we're talking, and I feel like I've known them forever. I'm talking to you, and I feel like if we've known each other, we've met before, and maybe we have. I don't know. But all I'm saying is I've been very blessed to be able to interact with people, and especially like somebody like yourself, and to be able to have a conversation. And even more so, I feel very blessed to listen to you talk and talk about not only what's going on in your life, but also in your music, and to be able to relate that to not only my listeners, but your fans as well. And I appreciate you taking the time. But okay, right now you're giving it out. You're saying, look at how busy your schedule is, but yet you took the time to be able to call me and do this interview, and I thank you very, very much, amigo, and I do appreciate that.
No, hermano, muchas gracias, que Dios te bendiga, and we'll see you later tonight.
Thank you, amigo.
Thank you, brother. God bless you.